This is Sean,
This is Kevin.
and this is the One Other Thing. And as usual, guys, we've got a lot to talk about because I haven't seen my friend Kevin for a couple days, and we've been hoarding things. We've been hoarding things to talk about. So I know Kevin's got a few things on his list, but I don't get to see those on my list. So I'm just going to tell you right off the bat. Today we got some PS5 things to talk about. Little pre-order news there. I want to go through with you and see what your take is on that. We've got some fan mail. We've got some Desert Island list that we're going to go through. Looking forward to that.
Sure.
And I also want to bring up something I read about the other day called the Switch Pro.
The Switch Pro.
Ooh, we're going to get into that a little bit.
Okay.
But before we do any of that, Kevin, if I'm a tutor out there and I want to contact us, I want to listen to our show. Well, if I'm listening to this, I probably found at least one episode. But how do I contact us?
Well, probably the easiest way to get a hold of us, especially if you forget how to email us or find our YouTube page, is go to our 2cast.net website. They have all the links. I have a live feed now of our tweets. I have a live feed of our Facebook page. And I have a links page so you can get there yourself to all these pages. And also, email us at toot@2cast.net. Share with us your thoughts, your questions, your suggestions, and your lists, and we will read them on air.
Without a doubt, yeah. And again, we have some of that to get to today. And one of the things I want to call out too is that, as I've always said, this show's an evolution, and we love having all of you with us. But Kevin just basically invested in a new toy for us that's hopefully going to have some impact on our audio quality as we move forward. Certainly make the process of recording this podcast a little bit easier for you, I hope.
Yeah, because currently we're plugging a couple USB microphones into a laptop and hitting record and hoping for the best.
Pretty much. That's the technique.
Adding headphones, about 10 episodes, 11 episodes in, helped tremendously. And now, having this mixer that I just purchased, it's the Rode, what is it called? Rodecaster Pro. I found really good reviews on it. It's made for podcasting. About a couple microphone headphones with condenser microphones on. It's supposed to even continue to increase audio quality. So I'm kind of looking forward to having this a mixer, a real physical device.
I wanted to call that out because I think we, part of it's our evolution, but part of it is that we are changing the game as we go along here. So I think we are sounding a little different on a lot of our different podcasts.
Yes, I think we should sound better. I do love the sound of my own voice, so I'm okay with any quality level. So, yes.
As long as I can hear myself, it's a good show.
It's a good show. Yes, and once I realized you can use a set of headphones and hear my own voice while I'm talking, I'm like, oh, yeah, this is it.
Yeah, count me in.
Yeah, hit the spot.
Well, as always, I want to thank you for all the research and the hard work you put into that, but just want to let the fans know that, we are out there, we are trying different equipment, and we are... investing in the show, trying to make this better.
Yes, and we're starting to get some camera and some capture cards on its way as well. So, expect some videos.
Exactly.
More actual videos, not just our podcast being reproduced on the YouTube website.
Exactly. Yeah, we're looking to take these, as I said, these faces for radio and get them out there.
Yeah, boy.
So video killed the radio star indeed.
Yeah, I'm not buying any lights. I'll tell you that right now.
I actually look like a silhouette in real life. It's just it's just to properly set expectations for the fans. But
this won't be produced in 4K right away. I'll just tell you that right now too. I want to slowly break into that world.
Yeah, like anybody would look at either one of us and be like, yes, I need a higher resolution of that. But be that as it may.
Please turn on sepia.
So, did you read any news this week on the PS5? Do you know what I'm about to talk about?
The only thing I saw, and it was very briefly, which if you have more than 2-second blurb, you know way more than me. Because all I had a chance today is I saw some notice that said they're going to start emailing people to get on this list.
Yep, that's basically... so Sony basically does not have anywhere near the PS5s they want to have. So what they're doing is they are doing a lottery of sorts with people that are PSN members, but being a PSN member is not, that would be PlayStation Network. That alone is not enough. They're somehow rating the folks, so I would guess it has to do with hours of playtime, number of purchases, things of that. I'm speculating. I have no idea what the criteria is, but they're going to rate everybody, and then they're going to do some type of lottery for, the biggest PlayStation Sony fans.
Yeah, I would call myself a solid medium, so I may not be on the list.
Oh, well, having just bought the PS4, I'm certain I don't hit the list at all. But it does make it it does make it a little bit easier in the sense that I don't really have to worry about the PS5 release date. I know I'm not getting it.
Yeah. It's a shame. It's a shame that, I probably won't get it as well, but, maybe sometime next year. That's fine. I can pull through not getting it day one.
Agreed. I'm not crushed by any measure whatsoever. I'm literally hard pressed to think what difference it actually makes in my life whatsoever. So none really. I'll get it eventually.
Yeah, I don't think I purchased any game system the moment it came out.
Boy, you think on that one. I bought Nintendo pretty early. The original NES.
Well, back then you had nothing. You either played Jax or you played Nintendo. You had nothing else going on.
Yeah, but I mean, I grew up in the country. We played bang your head against a tree or.
So it's either doing nothing or playing a video game. So you're going to buy that as soon as that comes out.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. I don't know so much. I've ever bought a game system other than the Nintendo, which wasn't day of, but I always felt it was very close. I don't think I ever.
If there was any game system that came close in my life, it would have been the original OG Xbox, because that at the time I don't know if it was the marketing, but it seemed like such a big deal. So I'm like, hey, sign me up.
Okay.
But apart from that, I didn't really fall for any kind of like marketing. I always thought that when the game system comes out, it might come with 10 games. I'm like, yeah, I can wait.
With Xbox, I was always like, sooner or later it's going to land on PC. Microsoft won't be able to help themselves, so I just immediately gravitated towards Sony.
And they're there now. Yeah.
I can entirely call that one. Yeah.
Of course, now there's a couple Sony PlayStation games on PC, which is weird.
I'm not surprised. Yeah.
The Death Stranding and the Horizon Zero Dawn, which were
franchise is a good franchise, and it's the only downside that I see to porting games to PC is twofold. You run the risk of, one, a bad port. It's just insulting to everybody involved, to the folks that never got to play that game on the original console, but they heard so many good things about it, and then they play this piece of crap that just doesn't work right.
Yeah.
It's just offensive,
And it happens.
But then there's the flip side of that coin. And believe me, it happens. I have an example. But the PC is, again, there's no console PC war. There never will be. The PC wins. It always wins. Even when the console is ahead of the PC, it doesn't last long.
Yes.
The PC wins. And there are games, I play them on the PC version, and I'll put it this way. Mortal Kombat XL, I played on the PS4, and because it was dirt cheap. It was seriously, guys, it was like $6. Mortal Kombat XL, if you like Mortal Kombat games at all, anything, it's worth $10. It's worth more than that. I paid $20. It was a good game.
Yeah.
But in fact, I probably paid more than that. But I paid like $6 on it. Got on the PS4. I already had it on the PC. The PS4 is horrific by comparison. The PC version looks just. When I say better, I don't mean it's close.
Yeah.
I mean the PC is just superior by a lot, and I was amazed by that. To be honest with you, I did not expect that.
Okay.
So, but like I said, that's the travesty of the PC port is you've got the chance that it's either going to completely dishonor its original by sucking, or it might dishonor it by just being even better. But that's why I never won Xbox, though. I always just presumed it would end up on a PC eventually.
That's a good thing. That's a good reason.
So, anyway, the other thing I heard about, and I don't know much about this one, but apparently Nintendo's looking at eventually releasing a Switch Pro.
What would make it Pro? Would you use it to...
Damn it, I was going to ask you that exact question. What do you think they could do to this thing to actually make a Pro version? So... It's got, the storage space is a card, so it can't be that, really. It's got to be a faster processor of some kind.
Or faster processor, possibly slightly bigger screen. I don't know. Usually the Pro version isn't a bigger screen. Probably better battery life.
Okay, so it begs the question.
Yeah.
It's funny now you mention that. I don't know if I know the Switch's battery life. I don't really use it unplugged.
It's actually really good.
Okay.
I bring it to my in-laws, and it lasts the entire time I'm there, and I'm there for 3-4 hours at a clip.
Nice.
So it's not bad.
Yeah, that's not bad at all. So with this Switch Pro, is it something you want to get?
Well, it depends. If they decide to do something really kind for people and make it so you can save your games to the SD card, rather than in the cloud only.
Yeah.
Or I only have one save at a time. If they change that in the Pro, I'll buy it.
Okay, because that would let you hack those save game files once
Well,
you
yeah,
hit them on a
I
card.
like hacking the save game
Without a
files.
doubt. Who doesn't?
Every other game system in the world, you can hack the save game files.
Yep.
What does Nintendo care?
Why does anybody care? That always bothered me. Now, again, just to be clear, folks, we're not talking about cheating in online games because that's just lame and you
should
don't
be
do
smacked.
that. Yeah,
if you cheat
seriously.
online.
Yeah, it's just
Banned
not.
forever.
It's just not cool. Why would you do it?
Yeah.
It takes all the fun out of the game for really everybody.
Yeah.
But if I'm playing a single player game or if we're playing local LAN games, who the hell cares that we are editing those ones and zeros?
Look, I'm an adult. I don't need to go through every single dungeon in Zelda to enjoy the game.
Yeah.
But you have to when you play it because you need all the hearts.
But people get downright offended though, like, "Oh, you're cheating." It's like, "Yep, I am."
Yeah, I'm not a purist. Yeah.
Yeah, that 60-hour game, it took me like maybe 10. Yep.
Well, we grew up with the Konami code.
Yep.
So it's in our DNA.
Well, yeah, I presume everybody knows up, down, left, right, BA start.
Yeah.
Some people say select start. I just did start and it worked.
I played, replayed South Park, Stick of Truth, and The Fractured Butthole.
Both of them.
I actually replayed them both.
Jesus, I'm doing something wrong with my
And the
life.
first game, I never made it to the woodland characters in the forest because you had to get there going up, down, left,
Oh, yeah,
right.
that's
It
right.
wasn't exactly that, but it was close enough where I'm like, did they just put the Konami code as a direction in the forest?
That's great.
I thought that immediately. It's not quite the same, but it's close.
Yeah, so it's clearly a nod to.
Yes, I think so.
That's pretty funny. I can't believe you played through those both already. I'm doing something wrong with my life.
Oh, I'm quick at it too.
I've made bad choices.
You made bad choices.
No, it's just work's been crazy.
They hold up. Those games hold up.
Yeah, I don't see them ever not because I mean they literally look like a South Park,
Yeah.
and Canada looked just like Canada.
It looked
We've been.
exactly.
We're sorry, Canada. We love you.
Yes.
We come visit, but you're smart enough not to let us in. So
How's it
there's
going, eh?
that.
Yeah. What's it a boot?
We can't even go there anymore.
Yeah, it's true.
Or
They
at
don't
least
want
not
us.
right now. They're like, yeah, no.
No,
thanks,
Americans.
but no.
Yes.
We like living.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. So
Are we in
anywho,
Overland?
what else we got? So we have a fan list. Our fan Taman actually wrote in again because he wanted to give us his Desert Island list, and I'm glad he did. And you know why I'm so glad he did? Because, well, one, we love hearing from our fans. We love our lists.
Yes.
But more importantly, because he says Ninja Gaiden the same way I do.
Yes. What? But we didn't read online last time that he said Babylon 5 was good and Kevin was cool. So
It's true. We're
You
going to
definitely
ignore
have
all
to.
those things.
Yes.
We're just going to say he says Ninja Gaiden the same way I do.
yes, Ninja Gaiden. Almost sounds like garden the way I say it too. Ninja and garden.
It sounds very fancy.
Yes, very fancy.
It's like the ninja who holds his pinky up while he kills people.
Well, I'm from Ohio, and it's a very ritzy, high-class state. No, it's not.
True. Not quite.
No.
But so this is the list of Taman trapped on a desert island can only play the games he has, and I won't lie, I did not read them all, but I did get a sneak peek at this, and I'm already endorsing this list. It's a good list. So starting at number 10, I myself have never even heard of this game, but what do we got, Kevin?
Kingdom of Keflings. I do not know what that is.
It's an Xbox 360 game. It's a building game of some kind, and you're basically sounds like you're a god of some kind.
Yeah, but
you're,
a little bit contradictory because you're kind of worship, but more of an indentured servant.
Yeah, I kind of get that though.
Unless you're
heavy
indentured
is the
servant to
head
a
that
god.
wears the heavy is the head that wears the crown kind of thing. Like hey, I'm the king here or I'm the god here. Everybody has to listen to me. But when all's said and done, you're just constantly doing stuff for your people.
You're serving the people.
Exactly. You're like, wait, I'm the god here. Like everybody's worshiping you, but meanwhile, they're like, hey, can you make it rain, and can you do this, and can you do the other thing, and smite him, and
Yeah, that's why I like SimCity, because you just like, you know what? We're going to have a monster show up here and destroy my entire city. I'm done with you people.
that's fantastic.
I like that.
I like SimCity because I did a lot of things. One of the we're going old school, but the old school SimCity, traffic was like one of the biggest problems. You almost inevitably had traffic, so I would just build cities without roads. All they had were trains. Literally nobody had a car.
Well, that's the way it should be in a proper town.
And then Exxon sued me.
Exxon sued you. No oil. Yes, this here says the game is described as having dashes of SimCity And Black and White. I remember Black and White.
Okay, I remembered. I don't think I played Black and White.
Yeah, that's another godlike controlling game.
I
Yeah.
believe people like that one too. I think that was a like a fan favorite kind of thing, or a cult classic.
And it did have 4-player multiplayer. That's what.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So another game I guess I shouldn't have missed, but I
Well,
did.
it's for the 360. I guess you haven't missed it.
Yeah, I do have a 360. The
Yeah.
same one as Timon, which is the Star Wars one with the C-3PO controller.
It's fantastic.
Yeah, just gold.
Well, if I ever wanted one, I know where I can get one, and I don't mean the C3PO one. I mean a friend of mine has an extra one because he
Yeah.
just buys Star Wars stuff.
Yes, I
Anyway,
do have a lot of Star Wars stuff.
so number 9 on the list. I mean, yeah,
Yeah, I mean, this is on your list many times. This is Street Fighter EX3 on the PS2. Good times. Hey,
yeah.
buds.
The EX games were more 3D basically. So Street Fighter is traditionally like a 2D kind of game, and this was EXs were the third dimension, but it was all the people we know from the Street Fighter universe, and the moves were the same. So still kick your ass, So it's good times. Definitely a good fun and a good pick. So number 8. I've heard of this, believe it or not. Sorry.
Overcooked.
Overcooked, yeah.
And he has only if he has friends on the same island, which is, I've had those rules, so Timon's allowed to have those rules, as long as he has other people he knows.
We loosely, we don't follow the rules to begin with, but yeah, there aren't many rules. So yeah, you can definitely add friends to your island. So Overcooked is fun multiplayer game. So we're gonna have to check this out because I have also heard of Overcooked being a lot of fun. Do you know anything about this? I do.
I do not. I'm trying to figure out. I think they do have Overcooked on the Nintendo Switch as an option.
Okay, so it's if I understand it right, it's something to the effect of, we work in a restaurant and we've got to somehow prepare the meals, and it's one of those I suspect that the first couple levels you're like, well, this is like stupid. Anybody could do this. This is easy. How hard is this? And 3 levels later you're crying for mercy because it's just too much going on. It's just pure pandemonium. But all you need to do for a game like that, basically, is make it somehow competitive and ideally give us a way to fuck with each other while we're trying to make whatever it is we're making. And that's it. Pandemonium ensues. It's a ton of fun.
You see, my concern is that this is a cooking simulator, and that's like giving me a game about crack, if I was a crackhead.
That's fantastic.
So I'm not sure that's really for me.
You're just going to play and be like, you know what, now I want...
No, I'm going to go
I
make
want a
this for
cake.
real.
Yeah.
You're going to find me in
awesome.
the alleyway with a copy of Overcooked next to me, and I'll be passed out.
Actually, my wife's a big fan of Yankee Candles, and...
Jeez.
If you live in the Northeast at all and you really have nothing to do and it's, there's no pandemic going on, going to the Yankee Candle Factory. It's changed a lot over the years, I'll be honest. It's definitely not as good as it used to be. But it's a fun way to spend a day, especially in fall. It's a nice drive and it's just a fun thing to do. But that aside, I don't like any of the candles that smell like food.
Yeah.
And it's pretty much for the same reason, though. It's just... I'm like, now I want that.
Yeah, now I'm hungry for
yeah,
cookies.
I just want whatever it
Yeah.
is I was just smelling.
Yeah, no, I went to that store once, and it's hell for me because for some weird reason, if I walk into a store with too many different smells, I just get headaches.
I get a headache there, too. Yep.
Yeah, so it's just hell for me.
There's little coffee bean things throughout.
Oh, that I could do.
And, well, that's to actually, it's like to cleanse your palate kind of thing.
No, just give me a candle smells like that.
It
I'm done.
oddly works.
Yeah.
And, yeah, I'm the same way. I'm like, oh, let's just smell this.
Just give me the coffee.
But yeah, it's still fun, though. But yeah, I'm with you. After smelling 900 candles, you're like,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
I've got a splitting headache. I need to get out of here.
Put the lotion in the basket.
Yeah,
Sorry, that's something
exactly.
else.
Pretty much. So, what do we got? 10, 9, 8, 7.
Yes. I've heard of the game, but I've never played it.
Oh, I have and will, and I've still never beaten it. But Super Mario RPG, and that would be a SNES game. And I got to admit, I absolutely love it. Can't believe I haven't beaten it, to be honest. It is an RPG, if ever there was one. It's Mario Universe, but you're walking around, and like when you get into a fight, you get to fight, run, this, that, or the other. You select skills, things of that nature. But what makes it interesting is they added this fun little gimmick, and it's a lot more fun than you might think. Like when you attack, if you press a button at a certain time, you can kind of keep attacking. And same thing with defense. If when monsters attack you, if you can time your button press right, you'll actually block the attack in totality.
Oh.
So it's that, I call it. I always go harken back to Dragon Warrior, but it's that whole, you're selecting. It's the non-action turn-based fighting, where you can I love those games because I can put the controller down at any point, go off a smoke, come back an hour later. I'm still standing there in front of the monster. There's no real time. Nothing's going to hurt you, but it adds this real time element to it because you can block, you can attack more based on how you time it. So it's a fun game. I have to admit, I do enjoy it. I mean, keep in mind it's Nintendo Universe, so it's.
Well, it was developed by Square Enix, so
Yep.
that's some cred there for an RPG.
No, without a doubt. And I'm not 100% on this, but I believe that morphed into the Paper Mario series. I'm not really certain about that, but I think that became the predecessor because, to my knowledge, there has not ever. I don't think there's a Super Mario RPG 2. So I think it became Paper Mario series became the predecessors, I guess, of Super Mario RPG. But definitely worth checking out, and I got to recommend it.
All right.
So that was 7.
Yep. Number 6 is
Super Smash Brothers Mario Fighting.
Yeah, enough said. Whatever system.
I got to give these more of a try because I have tried Super Smash Brothers, and I'll be honest, I can't figure out what the hell's going on. Have you tried these at all?
I've only seen some playthroughs of them, and you're beating each other up. So I think it would be in your vein. I mean,
I'm kind of, all this talk of game systems, I'm kind of busting out some of the old game systems. I'm doing it 64 style, meaning I have a crate that I pay homage to every now and again. It's my 64, and it has just everything in there. So every once in a while, I just bust out this crate, plug in the 64, and play it, crate it back up again, and away in the basement it goes. So I've kind of started doing that with my other systems, and because we're talking about so many systems, so many games, we need a way to start playing these.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of what I'm doing so we can have access to these. And I'm coupling that with looking up basically eBay and mostly eBay, but eBay and Amazon kind of things for sales on old game systems, games. So I'm starting to kind of build up a collection here for us of a lot of the things we're talking about. So that never-ending list that keeps growing it's going to keep growing. But at least we have a means to try a lot of this stuff.
Yes.
So that one, I got to look. I might actually have the 64 version of that already. I don't know.
That'd be cool. I'd play it.
But yeah,
I'm sure you beat the crap out of me because that's the whole point of it. But
I certainly would try. I'm actually, to be honest with you, I may even have the GameCube version of that.
Oh, okay, that'd be worth trying.
I literally have no idea how many systems I have, but I'm telling you, when I die, you want the stuff in the basement.
Yeah, I know.
So number 5.
Yes, number 5 is WWE 2K18. Well, wrestling.
Enough said. Seriously.
I haven't played this version, but I'm sure I'll like it because I think I played most versions of wrestling in most systems.
I haven't played this one specifically, but it's almost sinful how much I love wrestling games, and that is even bad ones. I have played a few bad wrestling games, but if it gives me the ability to mash on the buttons and potentially kick your ass, I am all over it.
Yes. I think these games shine, in my opinion, after you bring the fight out of the ring. And you fight, with the chairs.
It's just so dumb, yeah. And, to me, the best one will always be the N64. Boy, what was it?
Was it a Royal Rumble one? Or?
It was WCW, I want to say NWO, New World Order. It had Hollywood Hogan in it, and it was just...
Did it have Sting, right? It
did have Sting in it, yeah. And you could just basically beat the hell out of each other, literally indefinitely. Because you would never die.
Yeah.
So you could just beat your friend with a chair from the audience for like 20 minutes. He couldn't do much about it, and then you could finally decide to pin him. And even then, he might get up and surprise you and then beat the hell out of you. So it was just many, many hours were lost. And of course, it's 64, so you can do 4 players. But this version I haven't played, I want to say this is a PlayStation. I just don't know what year. Which one? Like 18?
Yeah.
What do you think? PS2?
2018? No, that'd be that could be newer. I mean, that's 2018 is recent.
Oh, yeah, it's 2 years ago. Well, yeah, what am I thinking?
Yeah, so that
I'm
could be PS4.
2008. I'm thinking 2008.
Yeah, that could be PS4. Yeah, I think that might be PS4.
Okay.
Yeah, PS4.
So that's something to check out because we don't currently have a wrestling game, and again, love mashing buttons, kicking your ass. So it's
yes, you do.
Definitely worth looking at. I definitely agree with this next one too. Actually, I enjoyed this game a great deal.
And number 4, Tekken Tag. I think it's Tekken Tag Tournament 2.
Yeah, I believe it is Tekken Tag Tournament 2. I'd imagine you didn't play any of the Tekkens that much.
No, I have not played any Tekkens.
They do not play at all like Street Fighters in the sense that all your moves there, yeah, you can kiss that shit goodbye. They don't work that way. I guess I'd put it closer to Mortal Kombat in that regard. But yeah, they're a fighting game. They're great. They're a lot of fun.
Yeah, this particular version looks like it was on the PS3 and Xbox 360.
Okay.
And then ported to the Wii U.
All right, so maybe I'm thinking just Tekken Tag though, because I want to say I
Yeah,
had it for
probably
the PS2.
earlier. Yeah, it was the first Tekken Tag. I assume there's a first one, and this one's called 2.
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that too. So I must have played Tekken Tag, and I loved it. It was a great game. I mean, I beat the hell out of it. That was one of those I think I beat it with every character because it was a great time.
Yeah, it was. That came out. The previous one came out in '99. It was on the PS2.
Okay, that's the one I had then.
Yep.
Yep. But good choice, Timon. Good choice.
Nice.
You know, I'm loosely aware of this. Never played it, although I'd be surprised if you haven't. It's a game called Awesome Knots.
Awesome Knots. Number 3, Awesome Knots. Very fun game. Yeah, it looks like Timon preferred the single-player version of it. Side-scrolling version of League of Legends, which is a popular game now.
Yeah, okay, I'm loosely aware of it, but that strikes me. I don't know why. What strikes me as your type of your cup of tea for some reason.
Yeah. So sometimes I just miss games.
Well, yeah, exactly. It's I've got this thing called being an adult and responsibilities that really get in the way of my game playing, and I really wish it wasn't that way.
It looks like it's on a lot of platforms, including Windows. So PS4, PS3, Xbox One, Xbox 360. It looks like a little game.
Awesome Knots is something.
Yeah, it says it's a multiplayer online battle arena. So.
Well, I love the name. I'll say that.
Yeah.
Seems awesome.
Yeah, you can get it on Steam. Oh yeah. Definitely might be worth checking out.
Well, number 2, I know we both agree on.
Oh, number 2, we both have played. I think I played it years ago though. In fact, I used to play at work. I didn't have much to do at the one job I had at the stockbroker.
Yeah, boy, you really didn't, I guess.
Yeah. Puzzle Quest 1 and Puzzle Quest 2. But yeah, this one here lists Puzzle Quest.
Yeah.
Matches 3 with RGP elements with full on. Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely what it was. It was just a match 3 game that basically you built a character though, and you got into fights, and it was a ton of fun. I love those games.
Yeah, no, I did like it.
I still probably, I don't know if I have one on my PC right now, but I play those every now and again. They're just truly, I mean, they're match 3. They're not hard. They're relaxing. They do kind of get tricky at times if you try to like fight something too soon or in the wrong way, but you can usually come up with a technique and just kind of crush everything.
Yeah. Well, number 1 here, pretty sure that it's been on his list several times, and I know you played a little bit of it.
Yeah. He recommended this to us, and that's a game called Warframe.
And that's, he goes, have I mentioned I like this game? I know how you feel. When you like a game and you like it a lot, you can't praise it enough.
No, seriously. And I've got to go back to this again. Admittedly, I'm way behind on my gaming, and it's probably going to get worse before it gets better. It's just a lot going on for me with work lately, so it's keeping me busy. And you guys know how it is. You never have enough time to do the things you want. But Warframe, I did try, and it's definitely seems like it seems like my cup of tea. Like I said, I think I played for not terribly long, but I killed a lot of people in that not terribly long, and I enjoy that. I got the impression, and I may be wrong though, and I still haven't looked it up. I got the impression it's multiplayer though, and it may not be, but I kind of got the impression I should stop playing because we should try this together sometime.
Yeah, I don't mind because isn't this like a free to play game?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So. Yeah, I should probably.
That's why I bought it.
Yeah, that's why you bought it.
Yeah, I saved up, and then I'm like, oh, free, I got that.
Oh, I got that.
Yeah, I can afford that.
Yeah, that'd be a cool game. I'd be definitely willing to try that.
Well, Timon, I really want to say thank you for sending us your list. Again, thanks for being so engaged here, and that's a great list. I definitely can endorse that. Just a lot of good picks there. And, well, I know there was a game you wanted to talk about today, Kevin, and I know
an old game.
A little bit about it, but a game called Life is Strange.
Life is Strange. In fact, they have a couple. They have like 3 versions out now. Life is Strange 2, and I forget what the other one is called, but it's a different story. Well, they're all different stories. And I don't know. When we first met, we talked a little bit about like Suicide Radio.
Yeah, yeah, without a doubt. Yeah, Suicide Radio, for those uninitiated, is just basically what I used to listen to. In our area, it's The Cat. But it's basically, you could kill yourself to any song on it, and it would kind of make sense. You'd be like, oh, yeah.
Yeah, these are suicide games.
Oh, nice, okay.
And they have Suicide Radio soundtracks that go along with them.
Is it actually real music, like really produced?
Produced music, they're licensed songs.
Oh, nice.
So I do recommend. I haven't listened to the soundtracks for the two newer games. Captain Spirit, I think that's another game I wasn't thinking of, but it's the same. Captain Spirit is the other game. It just hit me.
Okay.
But yeah, so I recently watched another playthrough of the Life is Strange, and then when I was listening to it, I'm like, man, this music is just it's worth listening to the music. A couple of bands that I could point out, like Sid Matters. He has some. It's just very melancholy. I like them.
Nice.
Depressing.
Never even heard of him. Sid Matters.
Sid Matters. SYD Matters.
SYD. Okay.
Sid Matters. So I recommend Sid
It does
Matters.
matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. But there's a lot of good tracks on there. But when you play the game, it's one of those games that's kind of like Doki Doki. It's not that it plays anywhere like Doki Doki, but you play it and you're like, oh, this is cute. And then, not to give too much away in the game, but then, your choices, it's one of those games where your choices matter in the game, and you're like, oh, this is kind of cute, I'm in high school, I'm a girl, my life is kind of weird, I get this weird time traveler power or whatever. And then the first moment when you find out that you can or cannot save a girl from committing suicide right in front of you, and you see it play out, and you can try to talk her down, and if you don't talk her down correctly, gone.
Okay.
And it's gone for the rest of the game. And then what I like about the game is that it's like 5 chapters. So I've seen a lot of play testers or people that play it live go through maybe 2 hours a night and do each chapter. So
Okay. Yeah.
so you can get through the game fairly quickly, but it's one of those games where you can play it and have a different experience if you played it again. Because you get to the ending, there's no like save things. If you get to the ending and you make a choice at the end and you don't like the ending, you got to start over.
Oh, you can't even save it, so you just you're committed.
Yeah, you're committed.
I
I
gotcha.
mean, you can probably play that chapter over again, but still, it's a lot. It's one of those games where it's like it takes a lot out of you, but it will stick with you.
Well, I've had to restart a couple missions in Mass Effect because it's just the conversation. Those little QuickTime things. If you miss them, you're just screwed.
Yeah, so it's one of those things that there's chaos theory. I mean, you make one little change in time, and then all of a sudden you find the Reaper. It is really great because between every time you make a change, one change in history, they show these photographs, and they change in front of you. So 4 or 5 photographs show on your screen, and they flip to something else. Sometimes good, sometimes like, oh my god, this is Black Mirror stuff.
Yeah, that's nice.
I mean, seriously, it's dark. It is really dark. So I do not recommend anyone under 18 playing this game because they have all those, they touch on everything from rape to, sexual situations to suicide to murder, and it's not good for kids.
What's the what age do you recommend for this show?
Oh, for the show, actually, I've been putting online at least 18. So
okay, good.
So yeah, so anybody who listens to us should be 18 or older. And so yeah, so if you're listening to the show, then no, you don't play this game if you're under 18.
Yeah, or your parents.
But I said a lot about the game that sounds negative, but it's not negative. It's a good experience. When you get through it, you're like, that was a very interesting experience.
So it is strange.
But yeah, Life is Strange. So I do have to go watch something happy now.
Okay.
You can't end the night with this game. But it's one of those games where, like I said, when you start playing it, it's been out for a few years. So I'm sure the game at one point was like $5 on Steam because you can get on Steam. I think it was on PlayStation and Xbox. It was everywhere. And I haven't played the second game all the way through yet, Life is Strange 2 yet, because and this one was, instead of being a girl protagonist, it's 2 brothers.
Okay.
So I started playing it, but then I realized, I got to wait 2 months between each chapter, so I haven't got back into it. But I plan on playing that game next.
Oh, they release it by chapter?
5 chapters.
Oh yeah, that'd drive me crazy.
Yeah, so it's been months. So when the first game came out, it was months, like 2 months between each chapter.
Oh yeah, no.
Yeah, but the good news is you can buy the whole thing at once now.
Exactly. Yeah, binge it.
Yeah, and I think Life is Strange 2 is all out now too.
Yeah.
So I do recommend them if you just like them. But the thing is, and I think a lot of things music can make a game or a movie.
Oh, without a doubt.
And something about the music is they play these licensed tracks, especially in the most emotional scenes. And it's sometimes you just need a licensed track, not just some. Although there's great composers out there for video games, but a licensed track used in the right place.
We talked about Vice City last episode. There's absolutely no way that would have been half as good as it was without that soundtrack that it had.
So yes, so that goes twofold. Is like I do recommend the soundtrack for this game, and I do recommend the game as well. So and when I watch the playthrough, and a lot of these playthroughs they don't play all the music because they're licensed and then YouTube will hit them. So then I go and listen to them on Pandora, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's it's actually you get to hear the entire song too, and you're like, wow, and they you remember where in the game that was, and you're like, wow, that's heartbreaking. Why do I like it? I don't know, but I like those kind of games.
You like the melancholy.
I like the melancholy, so if it's worth playing, like I said, it'd probably take you, 10 hours, not even that, to play through it. Worth playing. Playing.
Well, okay, I do see it on sale every now and again, so I'll keep an eye out.
Yeah, when you look at the screenshots, you just think it's this cartoon, and, the characters don't look very realistic, and...
No. I remember you telling me about it when you started playing it, and I look at it and I think Kevin's a girl, and I move on.
Yes.
That's literally what I think.
Yes. So, yeah, I did feel like a girl, but, yeah, because even watching the playthrough last night, I did get a little verklempt. I have to admit it.
Awesome.
Yes, I do. When I watch a game, I'm like, okay, I remember that scene.
Nice.
So I get a little choked up.
I like your recommendation. Like you should play this game. It'll make you miserable.
It'll make you miserable. But there's times where you laugh. There's times when you'll feel elated. So it goes through the whole spectrum of depression.
Good times.
Yes.
Wow.
But I recommend it, and the music that comes with it.
Yeah, God, I bet people stop listening because they're running out to buy this. But I will keep an eye out for it, though.
Well, one of the reasons why I know we're kind of like halfway going to what you're listening to, is because I was watching a TV show a lot, and you know about it, the Shameless, Shameless keeps on throwing these songs at you. Mm-hmm. And I bring up my Shazam, and I'm like, what is this song? And there's a song called Discoloration by Don Golden. And the reason why I that's what got me into the, it has nothing to do with Life is Strange.
Yeah.
But it sounds like it belongs on that same album.
Okay.
It has the same tone, the same melancholy feel to it. And immediately, that's what I thought of as Life is Strange.
See, I like that. You're starting to find something, though, like a genre you like. It's not even necessarily a genre, though. It's just a new artist that you hadn't heard before that's just hitting.
It just hooked me. As soon as I Shazammed it, I'm like, wait a minute. Was this on the Life is Strange album? I'm like, no, it wasn't. But it sounds like it could have been.
I just did that on the show, and the song was by Daughter, and it's something about youth. I don't remember the name of it, but it's funny because I haven't Shazammed something in ages, and I literally just did it the other day.
Yeah, I feel like shows like Shameless, they have a lot of licensed tracks, usually at an emotional scene or at the ending. Mm-hmm. And now I'm like, if I like it, I'll Shazam it. Then it goes to my history, and I can look it up later.
I've ruined Mickles, and I'm now going to ruin everybody, I guess.
Yeah.
Have you noticed every show has a video in it? Like there's a music video in every show.
No, I have not noticed.
Okay. If anybody's out there listening to this, I'm going to ruin it for you, but... if you watch pretty much any show, pay attention, because somewhere in that episode there'll be a montage where they're playing a song and there's just the show going on in the background, but it's basically like a 2-minute music video in the middle pretty much every episode. It's not necessarily in the middle, though. They'll do it at any point.
Yeah. And
I pointed out to Mickles all the time because they're playing the music, the show's going on, but it's become like a music video.
Yeah.
And there's not a show that doesn't do it. It's just every show does it.
Just does it.
But the unfortunate thing is you can't unring that bell, and that's what I mean by I ruined it. Because now you're going to be watching something, you can be like, son of a bitch, it's a music video. He's right.
Yeah. But you know what? The reason why I'm like binge watching the show has nothing to do with the content of the show, or even the music, or even the characters. It's the fourth wall breaking in the beginning of each episode.
It's great, isn't it?
It is the best fourth wall breaking ever.
There's one I want to tell you about so bad, but I literally won't because I don't want to ruin it for you.
That's my favorite part of the show. I watch it to see them yell at me for not watching last week's episode.
Nichols used to watch a show called 6 Feet Under.
Oh, I've seen that.
It's
I
actually
binged that one.
it's a great show. Yeah, it's depressing as hell, but great show. Really well acted.
That's why I
Everybody did
liked
a
it.
wonderful job. Dexter, you did great then.
Yeah, I saw that after Dexter. That was weird.
Yeah, he was David to me before he was Dexter.
Yeah, so it's weird.
I think it was David, but the beginning of that show was they showed how the person died,
Yeah.
and I loved the beginning of that show.
Yeah. Yes. It's always some car accident or something.
Yeah,
you
it was
know,
always
yeah.
something tragic.
Yeah, something
and,
tragic.
It was, yeah. So Mickles enjoyed the show more than I did, but not the beginning.
Oh, not the beginning.
So
I did like the show.
it was a good show, though. No, I did enjoy the show. It was, God, Russell. That I don't remember all their names. You had Claire and you had his friend Russell.
Yeah.
And God, that kid sucked. To this day, I see him, and he seems like a nice dude and all.
Yeah.
Like I'm sure he's a fine person, the actor.
Yeah.
But God, I see him, and I'm like, God, you suck. Just one of those. Like poor Joffrey. The kid. From what I understand,
Joffrey.
that kid quit acting.
Yeah, 'cause
because he was so good at acting.
Yeah, in fact, he said he didn't even understand what he was even doing. He said he never read anybody else's lines. He just came, did his lines. He goes, someday I should watch a show because I have no idea what was going on.
Yeah, that's just, and he nailed it. I mean,
He goes, I hear it's good.
seriously, who didn't want to kill Joffrey?
I know.
It's just like, God, you're so good. Like you nailed that, and I hate you.
Yeah, you nailed it.
And I know you're an actor, and I still kind of hate you.
Kind of hate you. You did a great job.
And, I
hate
feel
you.
bad because from what I understand, the dude's like a really nice guy.
Yeah, I heard he's nice. Yeah, I see a lot of, even lately he's been hitting the news of him posing people, and then he's like, he's more into puppetry than movies now, so he's trying to do like Adult Swim stuff is what he's more into.
Well, I wish him best of luck because, again, you nailed it because, man, we hate you.
Joffrey.
Really well done.
Yes.
But, well, coming up next, we got our What Are You section, which is always a personal favorite of mine. Find out what you're up to these days. But before we do that, let's hit them up one more time. How do folks contact us?
Oh, easy. You head to our website, tootcast.net. Email us at toot@tootcast.net. Definitely go to our website. You'll see links for our Twitter feed. Sign up. You'll get all of our announcements. You'll see our link to our YouTube site, which I promise you we're going to have actual videos there soon. And yeah, like and subscribe everything you see there, and that'll help us grow the channel.
Absolutely. Yeah, guys, again, support has been tremendous. We love all the support we've been getting, all those likes, all those subscribes, and, this is, we love having you on the journey with us, so we love to hear from you. Don't hesitate to write in or comment or write a review.
Yep, and put it anywhere. Put it on your favorite podcast program. Put it on YouTube. Email us if you don't want anybody else to see it, except for us. But we may read it on there.
There is that.
Yes.
But, well, without further ado then, so, Kevin, what are you playing these days?
I'm playing, last week I actually did play through both of the South Park video games. And then after that, I loaded up the Star Wars Fallen Order again. Because
So you loaded it up, so you're playing it on the 360 then, not the PC.
No, I'm playing this on the PC.
Oh, okay.
And last time I played it on the PC. Because it came out on Steam instead of Origin.
Oh, that's what it was. Okay,
Yes.
my apologies.
And
Yep.
Steam tricked me because all it does is load the Origin program. So I own the game twice now on the exact same system.
For
half the price, though.
Other than tickling my funny bone,
Yes.
why do you want the achievements? Like, what does that achieve, for lack of a better term?
It gives you achievements.
Okay, just
This
wanted
is
to make
this
sure.
is a
yeah.
dial. This one goes up to 11.
Well,
Conversation.
No, I hear you.
It really is.
But it goes
Just
up to 11.
Yeah, but can't you just make it louder? But this one goes up to 11.
Yeah, and that's
Can't you just make 10 louder?
really great analogy. It
Yes.
really is.
That really is.
Shout out to Spinal Tap, seriously. But
But I do need to play the game again because they did add a New Game Plus, and I like New Game Plus in video games.
yep, I agreed. Fully agreed. New Game Plus.
I will play it again because, the kid Ian from Shameless, I didn't realize at the time that he's the main character of the game.
I'd actually said that. Yeah, you said when that game.
who's Ian?
You were so excited about that game coming out. I'm like, oh, Ian's the Jedi.
Yeah.
Like, that's weird.
And in the show, he's like fighting his friend with a big giant stick, and I'm like, He's a Jedi here too.
Oh my god, he's got the Force.
He's got the Force even
real.
now.
Oh, that's great.
And they use motion capture in the Fallen Order, so it really captures his facial expressions very well. And I'm like, man, that's Ian. It's like he looks and acts. His personality is actually pretty close. I mean, he's not like doped up for half the seasons in the Shameless right now, but I don't know. I find him a very interesting character in the game, so I like playing him as a Jedi.
He did a great job in Shameless, actually. He really did. So I could see him doing well in that as well. And good on him, dude.
Yeah, so I recommend, if you haven't played Fallen Order, a couple things. Definitely, even though it's EA, definitely buy the game because there's no microtransactions. It's a single-player adventure,
Actually,
which is awesome.
We talked about him last time, but I'm with you. EA is kind of a pain in the ass and they annoy me, but I love everything they make pretty much. They make Need for Speed.
Yeah, they make Need for Speed. Yeah, they annoy me. And EA is also, it was rumored for September, but now it's October that the Mass Effect trilogy, which is EA, is the remastered version, should be coming out either September or October at this point, which I'm really excited to play.
Oh, okay, yeah. And I may eventually finish 2. We'll see.
Finish it.
But yeah, that's what I'm doing right now. The limited playing I've been doing is I have played a little Need for Speed Rivals. I'm still not done with that. I may actually move on to the Need for Speed Heat because I have, under the heading of achievements, I have like 83 or 87% of the game finished. Yeah. But it's actually gotten very hard to do what I need to do at this point. I'm not certain I'm going to. I may just move on. But I do enjoy that, and I probably will not uninstall it because it's just one you can kind of pick up any time and it plays the same.
Yeah, there's always a list of games I don't uninstall.
Yeah. Still playing Mass Effect 2. Haven't gone back to it, to be honest with you. Haven't even touched it. And it's a sad admission. Now, we were talking about all these lists recently, and one of the games we talked about was Dragon Warrior for the NES, the original, which I have an updated version on the Switch called Dragon Quest. Literally the same game.
Oh.
And it's entirely one of those where like you can put the controller down, leave for 4 days, come back, you're still fighting the same monster, nothing's changed, nobody's moved. Geez. So you just choose fight or run or use an item basically. And what it said is that I actually took the time to grind up a character all the way to max level, but didn't do any quests. So I could just come in anytime and basically play the game and do all the quests and beat it, but it'd be a piece of cake. Yeah, well, I decided to play that game again, except, I didn't even pick that character. I just started a new one.
Oh, boy.
So I'm not quite done with it, but it's almost embarrassing how high level I am. But to be honest, it's perfect for the way I play games during the week, mostly, because, again, you can put it down at any time, and we've mostly been watching TV, so it's one of those that you can literally kind of do stuff on a commercial, and there's not much asked to it. You can kind of play that game without looking at it.
Yeah.
Because most of the time you're just walking back and forth. But well, that's cool. But I know I'm dying to know the next one. I'm anxious. What are you watching?
What am I watching? So again, I've slowed down a little bit on the Monk episodes. So I try to watch 1, maybe 3 episodes a week now. I will get through it.
Yeah, you're gonna have those for a while though. That's kind of a good way to do it, I think.
Yeah, so I think 1 episode. I used to binge watch it, like 2 or 3 episodes in the evening, and I'm like, no, Shameless is a higher priority right now.
Okay.
It's only been a couple weeks, and I think I'm done with season 5 now, so I'm really going through the show. But I did pick up another show that I started watching, which I know you have seen, and I call this show Breaking Bad, but starting in season 3 of Breaking Bad. It's called Ozark.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, boy, God, that's.
And I'm a huge fan of Bateman, Jason Bateman, and I celebrate everything he does. He just acts like himself in everything he does. This is just a quieter version of him. And I recently discovered that when they show the in the beginning of the episode, it's giving you a hint.
A sneak peek of what's coming. Yep, gives you things to look for.
Gives you things to look for. So yeah, so I do love that show. I've seen 4 or 5 episodes of it, and yeah, I loved it the minute I turned it on.
Makes sense. We talked about that melancholy thing. It is quite possibly the darkest show I've ever seen. It is dark.
What I hear, it's actually videotaped pretty dark too, and there's actually some low-end LCD TVs And LED TVs, they can't display it. It just look like a big black mess.
Oh wow.
You can't even see the screen, so dark.
Oh wow.
So I'm kind of like I have like the last plasma TV they put out, so it's really good with dark colors. So it looks great.
But no, that's not the kind of dark I meant though.
Yeah.
I meant
No, I
grim.
mean it's both.
Yeah.
It's both shot dark, visually
Yeah.
and emotionally.
It's
It
just
does
yeah,
both.
it is just grim. But don't get me wrong. Much like it's funny, it's kind of like the Life is Strange thing.
Yeah.
This show is quite possibly the darkest, grimmest thing I've ever seen, and it's
Yeah.
entirely worth watching.
Yeah. And I did watch one episode of the Umbrella Academy season 2, and I enjoyed every second of it. But we're gonna have to watch it again because the wife immediately fell asleep.
Yeah,
I don't know why, but I'm like, this is awesome. Of course, Netflix forgot I watched season 1, so when I turned it on, it started playing episode 1, season 1.
Okay, yeah.
And I'm like, does this seem familiar, Johan?
great.
And we had no idea. We're like, it's been a year. Is this the same? Is this like, are they recapping? And then we stopped it. I'm like, oh no, they just replayed episode 1 for us.
Yeah.
So I had to stop it. But then when you played season 2, they did something awesome. They go, here's an episode that's just a recap. So it was a 10-minute recap episode.
Oh yeah, that's neat.
I was like,
Yeah.
thank you, Netflix. Because we needed it. We're like, where'd we leave off?
We actually went back and watched season 1. To be honest with you, I couldn't remember I couldn't have told you anything about Umbrella Academy.
Yeah.
Mickles was like, "Hey, can we watch season 1 again?" I said, "Sure." She starts the first episode. I'm not kidding. Within seconds, I'm like, I remember everything.
Yeah.
I mean, literally.
Yeah,
I took
it
one
jogged
look
your
and it's
memory.
just like, boom, I
Yeah.
remember all of it.
Yeah, such a good show. I highly recommend it. And I'm really excited because I saw the teaser trailer for Stranger Things season 4. Yeah, season 4.
That's my only complaint about
Yeah.
any of these shows is I hate watching shows that are still on.
Yeah,
I
know.
want to I want to consume it. I want to just completely soak it all in, and it's brutal. Yeah.
I'm actually disappointed on the teaser trailer for season 4 of Stranger Things because I feel like they left something kind of like ambiguous at the end of last season. And as soon as you watch the trailer, like, oh, okay.
Okay.
Thank you for telling me.
Gotcha.
I would have
Okay.
liked to be surprised.
I like to go in fresh.
Yeah, I
I'm
wanna go
telling you,
fresh.
That's why I don't like to watch trailers.
So I'll tell you, don't watch any trailers for it because I think it takes a little bit away from the show.
You know, were you one of those kids that, like, if you could have, you would have looked at your Christmas presents before you opened them?
No, because it was crap anyway.
That's a good point. In my
Yeah.
case, it was often the same. But
Yeah.
I didn't do it for another reason, and it seems so obvious to me,
Yeah.
and I find it so funny that it's elusive
Yeah.
to people. But the only thing worse than not having something is be like knowing you're going to have it, and not like knowing, oh my god, that awesome thing I wanted is right over there,
Yeah.
and I'm bored out of my mind. I could be playing with that right now.
Right now.
But I don't know that I have it, so I got to pretend. You know.
Yeah.
That would suck. So I never did that to myself.
Well, growing up when I was a kid, we were a GoBot family because my parents didn't understand what Transformers were.
Oh yeah. Oh, I hear you. Yeah, yeah.
I had Scooter.
G.I. Chuck. I know what you're talking
Yes,
about. Believe
that's
me.
what we got.
I know all about it. Yeah. It's awesome. But, you know, could have been
Scooter.
worse. Could have been worse.
I had a toy named Scooter.
We're watching a show, actually, that I think I can entirely recommend to you already because I'll put it this way. I've even cried at an episode. I mean, don't. We're
no,
talking
probably not like me.
No, we're talking like a tear or two.
Okay.
But I mean, it's both sad and absolutely hysterical. But it's a show called Afterlife. It's got Ricky Gervais,
Oh,
and of course, you know, Ricky Gervais. I'm certain I didn't look at this, but I'm gonna go on a limb and say he wrote it, and but he's a star of it.
it's
and,
possible. Yes, and
coworker-
I don't think he believes in the afterlife in real life.
Correct.
Yes.
It's aptly named. I'll put it that way. But yeah, in the show he talks about the fact that he does not believe in the afterlife.
Then he helped write it then, because I've seen his stand-up routine.
Yeah. So it's a coworker of mine that said, "Oh, you got to watch that. He reminds me of you." And I knew about 10 seconds in why. And I was like, okay. Because I think in part, I mean, he's an exaggerated version of me, I think, but he's very logical. He's witty. I'd like to think I am on occasion. But he looks at the world just slightly different than folks.
Askew.
So there was something... to the effect, and I'm paraphrasing the scene, but it was a 93-year-old woman got some kind of scar, some kind of accident, and the woman said to that was with him said, "Wow, she's going to be scarred for life." And he says, "Actually, she's 93. She's probably going to live to about 100. So, I mean, technically, she's only scarred for 7% of her."
Oh.
It was just
Or
entirely
less.
wrong, but it was like, yeah, I can see the math is sound.
Yeah, that adds up.
Yeah, so it was one of those though where it's making a logical observation and just forgetting the human aspect, which I'll admit I do constantly, but I'm always doing it as a joke. At least I am in fact an empathetic being, and I do understand the human aspect, but I like to make a joke of it. But either way, Afterlife, it's both funny and extremely melancholy, and because of that, I'm gonna say you probably would like it.
Yeah.
So made me cry.
All right.
So
That means I might be balling then.
you'd probably be bawling like the whole time because yeah, I mean I like shed a tear or two, but it's tough. It's some tough subject matter, but it's God, I hate saying this too because it's so damn cheesy, but it's one of those like I don't want to say it's joy, but makes your heart ache, but you're happy at the same token. You know, like it kind of hurts to live. Let's face it, folks. Life's hard for everybody, and honestly, I mean, you and I technically have nothing to bitch about and never have, and yet, when I'm comparing to averages around the world kind of thing, and yet you do. It's everyone's life's hard. The rich kid that didn't get the yacht for his birthday, this shit still hurts. I know you and I think it's ludicrous, but, pain is pain, and it's just life is tough. So this addresses that right on the nose, and it just talks about the fact that, yeah, it's tough for everybody, but you know what? That's not to say it's not worth it. And that's kind of the overarching goal or message here is that, life is worth living because, goddamn, it's fun. It hurts like hell. And yeah, it keeps kicking you in the nuts. But you know what? What else were you doing? Seriously. It's a lot of fun.
I hear you.
So, you already talked about it a little bit with Life is Strange, but what are you listening to?
Well, I have been listening to the Life is Strange soundtrack and all the songs contained within. I also Shazammed another song that I heard on Shameless, and it's called Somewhere by Dan Mickelson and the Coast Guards.
Somewhere? I've never even heard of these folks, but I do
That's
like...
why I love this stuff. I love Shazam.
Dan Mickelson and the Coast Guards.
And the Coast Guards. And I'm like, okay, this is... I don't know why. Shameless knows what songs I like.
And the Coast Guard. I'm going to actually have to check that out just because props to Dan Mickelson and those Coast Guards for their name.
You see, I like Hammond Crow, but if you watch any of his movies, it's all like songs that he uses as part of a soundtrack, which is great. But then I like these shows like Shameless where their song, and Scrubs actually was pretty good about it too. They always had songs that Zach Braff picked out. That was awesome too.
Garden State, man, seriously, Garden State soundtrack is just amazing. Zach Braff understands music. I'm going to give him mad props for that because Garden State was just a special soundtrack. It really was.
I know he picked a lot of the songs in the TV series as well. So I do adore the TV series.
Let's face it, it got me listening to Colin Hay, Men at Work lead singer. His acoustic
awesome
stuff is so good.
It was great. He was on the show twice. And it was awesome. But unfortunately, Dr. Cox broke his guitar the second time.
Yep, it does happen. But yeah, Colin Hay is good.
So that's what I was listening to. There's another band I was listening to on the way here, but I forget their name. I could probably figure out. You tell me what you've been listening to. I'll figure out my time.
Well, it's funny. I'm going to go in a weird order here, but I'm going to go with angry music today for a very good reason. I'm going to do angry folk and some old school, but I'm starting with angry because honestly, their first album was so special to me that it's still. I probably put it in my. In fact, I'm going to wager I put this in my top 10 albums of all time. Their first album. And that would be who I fondly refer to as Rage Against the Cheese, but their actual name would be Rage Against the Machine.
Yep.
And you want to talk about music supporting a movie, Natural Born Killers. Yeah. When Woody Harrelson elbows that guy and busts into it busts into Bomb Track right when the elbow connects. It is just such a powerful scene, and you just want to kick some ass. Or you could, even give Rage Against the Machine props for Wake Up at the end of The Matrix. But, to talk about a few of their songs, because I'm trying to include not just bands, but a few song recommendations. Bomb Track, like I said, from Natural Born Killers, great. Take the Power Back, that first album, love it. There's a song called Darkness that was not on their first album. It was actually, I know it from a movie soundtrack. In fact, I bought the movie soundtrack solely for the song, but I believe the movie was Higher Learning. But the song called Darkness, I'm certain you can type into YouTube and find Rage Against the Machine Darkness. Fantastic song. And of course, I couldn't mention Rage Against the Cheese without mentioning Killing in the Name of, which personally I
Stands the
believe,
test of time.
well, I believe I deserve a writing credit because I have zero doubt I said "fuck you, I won't do what you tell me" long before Zach De La Rocha did.
Yeah.
I have zero doubt about that. So I personally think I deserve some royalties and a writing credit because that is entirely my line.
Yeah. But that song holds up. I think that's a song that you can. It's an old song, but it holds up to this day.
That the whole first album, I'm telling you. The only thing, and I have listened to this song recently, but Freedom, which is, it was what was on MTV, and honestly, the first time Mickles and I heard it, she literally looked at me and said no, because she knew I loved it, and it was just this dude screaming. But that shows its age. Because it's talking about a floppy disk, so it's certainly showing its age. But that whole first album was truly special, and boy, Zach De La Rocha did a great job. Because first time I heard him, I'm like, he seriously is pissed.
Yeah, angry man.
That dude is pissed, and so good stuff. Definitely recommend that. Go to the other end of the spectrum, folk. I'm going to talk about a really, really talented individual, even though the band is named Iron and Wine. It's one dude. So Iron and Wine, that dude is just, to say he's talented is just an understatement. Like, he's like the Cat Stevens of our generation kind of thing. He is just so damn good. It's just wow kind of good. But some of his songs, and he's got, I like the names of his songs too. Naked As We Came is one of the songs I recommend. One of my personal favorites is Communion Cups in Someone's Coat. And there's a song that, it's a long song, and it's an amazing piece of work. I'll say it that way. But there's a song called The Trapeze Singer by him. Swinger, rather. The Trapeze Swinger. And that is an amazing song. It really is something special. But seriously, guys, if you're into folk, check out Iron and Wine. That guy, I don't know the dude's name, but that guy is just amazing. So, yeah. Also, actually, was a part of the Postal Service there, so there's Such Great Heights. His version's my favorite because it's the most melancholy. It's just, just a bummer.
That's why I said they sounded a little happier than the normal versions of their solo stuff.
Yeah. So, but yeah, it's just really, really talented individual. Can't emphasize that enough. And today, for old school, I wanted to talk about somebody that Mickles absolutely hated, but I loved, and that would be somebody called Grand Puba. So specifically, you could go with a little of this. Check It Out was a great song, and I'm going to go with my favorite from him was 360 Degrees or What Goes Around. Absolutely great song. And love Grand Puba. And since I'm mentioning Grand Puba, and I'd never mentioned him otherwise, I'm going to give a shout out to Special K with What Your Man Gotta Do With Me. It makes me laugh to this day when I hear it. It's just it's a funny song, and definitely old school, but, shout out to Grand Puba and Special K, because that's good stuff. So, that's basically, actually, honestly, I don't know if I've heard any of this, all that recently. I've heard some Rage Against the Cheese, but, other than that, I don't think I've heard any of this recently, but I'm going to keep those music recommendations coming, and,
yeah, the one I forgot about on the way over was Broken Bones by Kaleo. Kaleo.
Yeah, I've heard of Kaleo.
Yeah, they're an Icelandic band. For some reason, they decided that they were born in Mississippi.
I love
it. They're very interesting.
I almost want to say I might have heard that song before.
You may have, because I think if you listen to "Hey Mama," from
Nathaniel
Rateliff, it has that vibe. So if it's on Pandora, this is gonna be in the rotation because it has the same kind of vibe.
It's quite possible. Yeah, I like me some hillbilly music. I can't even help it.
I just don't understand how these Icelandic guys do it. So
I mean, not for nothing. Creedence.
They're talented.
Creedence bust out Born on the Bayou, and they've never even fucking seen a bayou. They've never seen a bayou when they bust that out.
Yeah, what was also the Beach Boys? Only like one of them knew how to surf.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah, so it's pretty amazing. But yeah, where there's a will, right? Modest Yahoo, man. He's the. Do you know who that is?
Oh yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. That
he doesn't have a beard anymore, but
no, I don't. I don't believe he's Hasidic anymore either.
Yeah, I think that's why he shaved his beard. Probably wasn't allowed while he was Hasidic.
Yeah, but either way, that just proved to me the universe, one, has a sense of humor, and that just anything is possible.
Yeah.
Absolutely anything.
That's why I gotta leave the house once in a while, because that's when I listen to a lot of songs is in my vehicle.
Without a doubt, yeah.
And I crank on Pandora and I'm like, oh, this is interesting.
I hate to admit it, but shout outs to NPR. I barely listen to NPR anymore. I just, again, to your point, I'm not in the car. So I love me some NPR, but I rarely get a chance to listen.
Oh, and I did watch the entire set of the Tiny Desk.
Oh, God.
And
Tiny Desk.
of
who? Yeah.
Weird Al Yankovic.
That's funny. I caught a little bit of it.
And he actually attempted to sing the whole time. They were some of the songs were a little, Weird Al, but he had a he had to like plug up one ear, and he was actually trying to hit all the notes. I'm like, he's attempting to actually do a good job, which I know he's a consummate professional, but usually he's just like flamboyant and silly. But every song he sang, he gave it his all of making it kind of like a smaller version, more intimate version of all his songs.
Well, Weird Al does a few things too that you got to give. I mean, first of all, you got to give Weird Al props. I don't care if it's your thing or not. Dude's been around forever, and he's been doing it. So props to Weird Al.
I actually grew up. I definitely grew up listening.
Oh, I had a lot of Weird Al albums, but I mean, again, even if it's not your thing, you got to give him props at this point. I mean, just wow, look at what he's done. But he actually checks with the artists before he releases it, from what I understand.
Yes, and there's only been like 2 times where they said no, you didn't have the permission.
Yeah, and that's the thing, though. He doesn't need to.
Right.
He could just do it. But I find that very respectful, and I appreciate that a great deal. But my favorite is the Dire Straits Mark Knopfler story, because he called up Mark Knopfler and said, "Hey, I want to do a gimmicky version of Money for Nothing."
Yeah.
And Knopfler said, "Only if I can play the guitar."
That's awesome. Good
And
for
it's
you.
like, goddamn Mark Knopfler. And if anybody, this is just a bonus one. Dire Straits, massively underappreciated, and seriously, Mark Knopfler. You spell it with a lot of letters. It begins with a K and an N,
Yes,
and it
I've
goes
seen his
from
name.
there.
Yeah.
But that dude is so talented.
Yeah. Makes
just
me mad.
truly good stuff, though. So yeah, there's a bonus one for you. I have some how do I not have a classic rock? I just presume everyone knows classic rock, but you know what? I'm adding right now. We're doing it right
classic
now.
rock. I do like a lot of. I grew up with a lot of classic rock.
We're gonna add a classic rock section, and my God. Okay, I love the Dire Straits. They're underappreciated. They don't deserve to be the first band in the classic rock section, but neither does anybody else, with one exception. That would be the Beatles, folks. Seriously, the Beatles. There's just
the drug years.
There's never been the Beatles or the Stones. I like the Stones a great deal.
Yeah.
And then there's the Beatles.
Yeah.
And yes, I like Meet the Drugged Out Beatles.
Yeah.
But
the Blue Album.
The Blue Album.
The Blue Album, yeah.
Entirely the blue, not the red.
Showing our age by saying the Blue Album.
Yep, not the red one. Well, I mean, that's though. That's the greatest hits kind of thing. So,
it is, yeah.
But that I definitely recommend the Beatles, and I'll go with Dire Straits. But I'll start to add classic rock to it.
Yeah.
And
I'll do that too, because I celebrate a lot of classic rock. Not just Rush and Pink Floyd, but other things.
Yeah, Dire Straits, I suppose I could go with, me personally, I always love the Romeo and Juliet song, but I'm going to recommend the Brothers in Arms album. Just a great album. Not to mention Brother in Arms is freaking fantastic. But
are we allowed to name lame bands that we love and shouldn't?
Absolutely.
Like Queensryche?
Oh, yeah, like Empire?
Oh, not just Empire, but Operation Mindcrime.
Yeah.
Oh, I could listen to that
I worked with a dude that was
again.
like the biggest Queensryche fan ever. I'm not kidding.
Yeah.
Like wore Queensryche shirts constantly. I'm like, wow, you are out there.
Yeah.
But I've told you the story, but I'll share it with the audience. A friend of mine had we grew up with tape decks, and he had a car that somehow Queensryche Empire got stuck in there. Now, thank God it was one that would just auto flip, so you basically had 2 choices in that car. You listened to nothing or you listened to Queensryche Empire. And it was like that for months. So when I say I listened to Queensryche Empire, I mean it.
Yep.
Because you don't want to hear nothing. So we listened to that album a lot.
Yeah, those are the 2 Queensryche albums I had, was the Empire and Operation Mindcrime. Those are the ones I rotated.
Awesome. Jeff Tate. Yeah,
Jeffrey Tate, and you can go to and learn how to sing just like him.
I remember Circus, man. Yeah, I used to read the magazines.
Yeah.
I know. Just
God,
7
he spells
days
his
he
name
can
with a
make
G.
you a man.
That is weird.
Yeah.
Jeffrey with a G.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So more things to come on that then. That's fun, actually. See, that was like a blind spot for me because I just presume everyone knows classic rock.
Well, it's possible because when I looked on YouTube, the range was starts at 30s and goes higher. I didn't see anybody, at least anybody who said their age in YouTube.
Okay.
But so far, it's 30 years old and older that's listening to us.
All right. Well, then in that case, seriously, you should all know the Beatles. I even have to name songs? Do I really? Just go by Sgt. Pepper's. You'll do yourself a big favor. Just,
Lonely Heart.
Yeah, just go by that. If you don't know Let It Be, just seriously stop listening to us right now. Go play Let It Be.
Yeah. There's a reason why the Beatles put out like a #1 hit album with all their #1 hits, and it was like, 30 or 40 songs that were #1 hits.
Just amazing, yeah.
Yeah, it just goes on and on and on. They
Yeah.
just, yeah.
So no offense, Mick Jagger and Keith Richards and the rest of you Stones. I mean, we love you. You're great, but no, you're not even playing the same game.
Yeah.
Just there's no competition there. But yeah, so Beatles. Wow. Just,
yeah, definitely Beatles.
I don't know what else to say about it. So.
Oh, if you're going to listen to any other band from that era, I have been watching some YouTube videos on a band I didn't know. I know like one song by this band, and then all of a sudden I'm like, oh, they have other cool songs that I've been getting into. It's a band called The Animals. Highly, highly recommend them.
I love Eric Burton.
Oh, I had no idea. I thought they just sang,
The problem with the House of the Rising Sun.
The House of the Rising Sun, but then they get these other songs, and plus when he's singing with other bands sometimes, and I'm like, wow, he had it.
Please Don't Let Me Be Misunderstood is a favorite of mine.
Misunderstood.
It's great stuff.
Yeah, it's great stuff.
We got to get out of this place. There's so many. It's funny because
angst songs.
Everybody knows Eric Burden songs, but they don't know they do. So like War, the song War, that
I've seen him sing on YouTube.
I mean, it's just no one realizes.
Yeah.
But the Animals apparently, and I think it was because Eric Burton was a giant douchebag. But they got together, they made one album, as I understand it. Then they broke up for a number of years, and then they came back and they made an album. I believe it was in the '80s.
Yeah.
And I had that album. And I loved it. I thought it was a great album.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I think it was me and like their parents, and they were
That's
the only
all
ones that
people
bought
liked
the
it.
album.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've been finding that I've been liking the Animals, just the way
you.
he grooves into it. I'm like, I like this guy.
Let's. You know what? I'm excited. I wonder what you guys think. We'd love to hear from you. What do you think of the new classic rock section? Does it stay? Does it go? Because I like this, and we both certainly have a lot to say about it.
Yes.
And it's bound to get offensive at some point, because when you say Guns N' Roses, they're going to be like, they're not fucking classic rock. No, they're not, though. They're not. Guns N' Roses, it's not like a fucking car. They're never going to... don't get me wrong. Appetite. Props to Appetite. Love Guns N' Roses, and Lies I thought was great, too, to be honest with you. But I don't care if they're 50 years from now, they're still not going to be classic rock.
Well, I will say this, though. I'm a big fan of Reddit, and there's a Reddit page called Data is Beautiful.
Data is beautiful.
Data is beautiful, so they show graphs and charts. So they show graphs and charts of... singers and their vocal range.
Okay.
And Adele was in, her range. She's a very good singer, but she doesn't have a very large range. She was kind of like early middles.
Okay.
But the very far right, the farthest right you can go,
was Ozzy Osbourne. No, I'm kidding.
Axl Rose.
Really?
Yep.
Huh.
His range crushes everyone else's.
Oh, good for Axl.
Yeah, Axl.
Yeah.
He has the
that's
range.
Awesome. But I'm telling you, man, it's kind of like the same way Zeppelin will never be a golden oldie.
Why not?
It just won't. They're a period in time.
Yeah.
It's not like an automobile. There's no amount of years that'll pass that'll make Zeppelin a golden oldie. It just will never happen. Just like Guns N' Roses will never be classic rock.
Yeah. Well, remember when I told you In the Air Tonight is 40 years old now?
Yeah.
That's a golden
Still
oldie.
not classic rock. It's not a golden oldie either. Yeah. It doesn't work like that. But anyway,
I told my wife that too. That I told she had about the same reaction with you. Like, no, it can't be.
What did you tell her?
But that In the Air Tonight was 40 years old.
Oh yeah.
She's like, no.
That's like a punch in the gut.
Yeah, it came out in
not
81,
cool.
man. It's 40 years old.
Yeah, well, that's even better, because you say that you say that to somebody like me. It came out in 81, and I'm about to say, aha, see, I told you. Oh, fuck.
Oh yeah, that's a long time ago.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
I'm
an
about to
oldie.
argue till my brain spits back the math. Like, no, dude, he's right.
Yeah. And I like myself some Phil Collins, but I'm more of a Peter Gabriel guy.
Oh my God, yeah, yeah. You know what it is? I diss Phil Collins, and I shouldn't. Props to Phil Collins. It's just there's kind of like the Beatles, Stones. There's never been, never will be a Phil Collins, Peter Gabriel question. There's Peter Gabriel, and then somewhere down below there's Phil Collins. He's an amazing talent. He's great. Yes, we love you. Way to go, Buster. But
that was a great era. It really was a great era.
But anyway, we were kind of rambling today, and we got I see that
This
we're
day?
way over an hour. So I'm gonna say,
We rambled.
unless you got anything else, we should probably land this plane.
The only thing I just want to mention is that HBO picked up The Last of Us as a TV series, so I'm actually looking forward to that happening.
Son of a bitch, we got one more thing to talk about.
Uh-oh. What happened? Whatever
You'll
you got.
probably watch it before I do.
Yeah.
But I hear Netflix is releasing a new animated He-Man of some kind. And I want to say...
I have the power.
Well, I definitely have the power, but I want to say Kevin Smith's involved somehow.
Oh, I could see them because he loves comic books.
And I'll be damned, there was something else on Netflix that was already out that was an animated thing. I'm going to have to look it up because it caught my eye, and I'll be damned if I can remember what it was. So
Yeah.
there's a teaser for all of us. But
There better be Orko. There better be Man at Arms. I'm telling you. I had all those toys.
that's great. Orko was the ghost, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was the ghost that
Yeah,
floated around.
I didn't have the ghost.
Everyone knows Skeletor, though.
Oh, yeah,
He's
Skeletor.
all meme still.
Yep, exactly. I remember the cat too, the giant panther that had the saddles.
Good old days.
Boy, was the shit.
Yep.
But anyway, well, might be something we talk about in future episodes. But well, I think that's all we have for tonight. So
Okay.
this is Sean.
This is Kevin.
And that's the one other thing.
Good night.